Welcome to day 4 of my 8-week fat loss journey, and thank you for following along. I'm genuinely surprised that as many people are watching as they do seem to be. Oddly, more than watched the I lifted more than Hugh Jackman video that I did, which was awesome. Why you're not watching that, I have got no idea. It's got Wolverine in it, for God's sakes, you're all nuts. Anyway, quick one today because amongst other things, I'm packing to set off tomorrow, Friday, for Rat Racing Cornwall on Saturday. So just time before the photo updates to say that I'm still feeling good. It was all still going to plan, really, nothing too exciting there. This daily video stuff is proving to be a little bit more time consuming than I had anticipated, but it's also proving to be very much a huge motivator each day. So yeah, all still on track. But what I did want to cover was something that somebody had asked about a couple of days ago in the comments, and it's a great question. So good, in fact, I'm going to revisit it in the future with a longer video because it really is that important. But a quick whiz through it today. He asked, how do I tell a difference between feeling hungry, which I said I ignore, and feeling like I need to eat, which I said I do not ignore? There is so much to say on this subject. I'm going to be really strict and keep this short though. I wanted to start with the whole Bad Boys / Fight on an Airplane story I have from 1997.
Wesley Snipes, passenger 57.
But there's no time for that. Instead, let's dive in with this. Actually, first, a warning. If you have an eating disorder or a medical condition, please do not take eating and hunger advice from some random person on the internet whose only real qualification seems to be that he is stronger than Hugh Jackman. Seriously, go watch the video. It's even got Superman in it. Anyway, this is not expert advice. This is just me saying, this is what I think, this is what I do, and what seems to work okay for me. So, that borne in mind. There are 3 types of hungry. There is tummy hungry, there is brain hungry, and there is energy hunger. I learned to really identify the difference when I started doing 24 and 48 hour fasts. Actually, I first started to identify the difference on that plane 25 years ago, but there is no time for that.
Now give me a motherfucking handy way.
Tummy hungry. That is my stomach telling me it wants food. Right now, I get that every morning when I wake up because I spent the last few months having a big breakfast and my stomach is just used to it. I get out of bed, I always feel ill, almost, and have the sensation that needing to eat will solve that. And I ignore it. It is now 7 AM and I'm ignoring it right now. Brain hungry is where I'm doing something or going somewhere and my brain says it's snack time for no good reason. Watching TV, I need a snack. Fueling the car up, buy some junk when you pay. For me, it is the hardest one to overcome because you're going against your own brain, which is obviously hard. I know people say it's just willpower, but where do you want that willpower to be generated from? I'm assuming the same brain that is obsessed with Ben and Jerry's. It is not that simple, but again, I do try and ignore it. And then there is true energy hunger, a true requirement for more calories. That I don't ignore. If I'm cutting gym workouts short, if I'm feeling lethargic, if I'm tired despite sleeping well, just feeling low, all signs I actually do need more food, I'll increase my consumption to solve that. I said I'd done 1 and 2 day fasts. What I learned on the 2-day one especially was that tummy and brain hunger just comes and goes in waves. Tummy hunger builds, then subsides. I wake up at 6, I'm hungry by 7, I'll be fine by 9, no problem leaving my first food of the day until midday. Brain hunger comes in quick. I can go from not being hungry, fire up Netflix, next thing I need ice cream. But that too will drift off if I can fight it. On my 2-day fast, I learned to recognize those sensations coming on, I'd ignore them, and they drift away again, and I'd feel fine again. And once you know that something will get better, it's very easy to deal with. Then, over 48 hours especially, very slowly, true energy hunger will build. I found by the middle of day 2, I was actually hungry, not starving. I could have done 3 or 4 day fasts. But it was a different type of hunger to the other 2. It was a real one. Now, I'm not advising that people rush off and start fasting, but for me, it was a realization moment that taught me the difference between wanting food and needing food. And there is nothing wrong with eating just because you want to. But if you're trying to drop or control body fat levels, it is handy to know if what you think you want under those conditions is really needed. For example, I talk to so many people that say, oh, I couldn't go without breakfast. I'd be starving by 11 AM. No, you wouldn't. That sensation of needing to eat first thing would not grow into starvation by mid-morning. What they mean is, I don't want to not have breakfast, which is cool. Want what you like. But once you know it is just a want, you can then balance that against your want to lose weight. Which is more important to you? Cocoa Pops or not looking like a sack of shit? It's a choice, which is really important to understand. For 99% of people too fat, whether that's £1 too fat or £100 too fat, it should be reassuring to know that it is a choice. An incredibly hard one at times. Incredibly hard. I do not wish to diminish how almost impossibly hard it is. But ultimately, it is under your control. Okay, a couple of quick questions that people had in the comments from yesterday. Am I still plant-based? Yes. On Monday, my 1 week update will include a full day of eating, so I'll cover what I'm eating there and what spray tan will I be using on the last day. Jokes aside, I'm going to play around with that a little bit at the end of the 8 weeks. The photographs that I'm doing at the moment, obviously I've taken pretty much first thing in the morning. There's a gigantic light that lights me flat, so they're about as unflattering as you can get. I'm not lighting from above, which will show more definition. I'm not banging out press-ups and chin-ups before I do it, so I'm pumped. It'll be interesting to see the difference in 8 weeks between the way I'm taking the photographs now for unflattering consistency versus what I could be taking photographs like if I wanted to achieve a slightly different aim, an aim that was more misleading. Okay, time for some unflattering photographs. Okay, day 4. See you tomorrow.